To day 27, Diary of a Multifaceted Mama. It has been a whirlwind, I will say. Good stuff, wonderful, full, but good full, and you know how there's a difference between like too busy that you like feel pulled in all these different directions and it's chaotic and overwhelming. There's that kind of really full, and then there's like full where it's fulfilling and engaging and satisfying and you're like yes, there's a lot of things, but they're all things that I'm wanting to do. And so that's the season that we're in right now. And this past weekend I hosted my 10-year-old's Harry Potter themed birthday party, which I've been planning for, I don't know, a while now. And it was amazing. It was awesome. And I will tell you that I had a big vision as per the usual. And I did not get to execute everything in that vision. The baby very much was wanting to be held, did not want me to put her down, which made things take a little bit longer than I'm used to. But hey, when you have 4 children, you know that you are going to be needing to be deliberate about where you put your attention and focus at any given time, and that there are going to be more children that are going to be asking for that attention and focus. So it's all part of it. Um, but it was really wonderful, and he just had such a great experience. He loved it. It was so nice. But as I was reflecting yesterday about the weekend and just the whirlwind of the past 2 weeks, to be honest, I was thinking about how when things get busy like that, when they get full like that, how so often, oh, look, the zipper on the couch is open. You can see the fluff. Just saw it in the imperfection, right? So, anyway, I was thinking about how when things get really full and busy, how we can so often, especially in this day and age, get pulled into thinking that we need to control it all. And then when we realize we can't control it all, we try even harder to control it all, especially as parents, but even as professionals, as partners, as business owners, as entrepreneurs, as all these different roles that we fill, as all these different facets of ourselves. We try to control more and more and more. And then the more that we feel like things are out of control, the more we try to control it, right? And that just creates more stress. So it's almost like we make control the hero, like control is the goal. And so if we can just capture control of everything and everyone, or make everything better and good and perfect, or whatever the case is, then that's good, right? Like that is the aim, being in control of it all. But it is so far from the truth because there's so much that we can't control. Like this past weekend with the birthday party, I did what I could, but I couldn't control everything. Like I couldn't control how everyone felt. I couldn't control what everyone thought about it. I couldn't even control making sure that every single thing was done the way that I wanted it done, because it just wasn't possible with timing and other demands and other things that needed to be prioritized. And had I gotten really like down on myself about that and hunkered down to try to control it all even more, the parts that weren't going exactly how I wanted, if I tried to control it even more, I would have felt more stressed. And you know what? I would not have been able to enjoy the party. I would have been too frustrated. I would have been too focused on all the things that I couldn't control, no matter how much I tried to control it, right? And if you think about in life how there are so often stories, maybe you've experienced it yourself, or maybe you've heard someone else say it, they're like, you know what, I tried so hard to find that person, like to find the love of my life, or to try to lose weight, or to try to get pregnant, or like I tried so hard for so long, like I'm just done trying. And then when they gave up trying to control it all, they stopped focusing on how much control they didn't have, things naturally changed. I don't know, like, I just stopped trying, and then I started feeling better, and then I started to gradually lose some weight, or I just started to gradually just feel more healthy in my body, or I met this person, I bumped into them, and just we kicked it off, and it was seemed like totally out of nowhere because I wasn't even looking, I wasn't even trying anymore, or I mean, isn't that right? Like, doesn't that happen? Haven't you heard stories like that? Or maybe you yourself have experienced it? Is because when we try so hard to control it all, we're actually, that saying, shooting ourselves in the foot, right? Like, it's actually counterproductive, because what it does is it puts our brains in this stress state. And when our brains are in this stress state for too long, they don't belong there for too long, then we're not really able to come up with those creative solutions. We're not really able to see things as clearly. We're not really able to manage things in as healthy as a way. And our energy is not in a place where it's lined up with the things that we're really wanting to engage with, to attract, and all that, right? There's so many levels and layers to it, but it makes total sense, doesn't it? So we so often, as moms, as dads, as parents, as professionals, like in all these different roles, we're trying to control too much too often. And it winds up backfiring and making us feel exhausted. And then we get like resentful or pissed or whatever the case is, because we're like, I'm trying so hard. Like, why can't you see the effort? Why can't you see everything I've done? Like, I feel so unappreciated. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? I hear this and see this all the time. And I think if we can remember that control isn't the goal, control is not the hero, that instead, the greater challenge is to surrender to needing to control it all, that actually changes things in a way that allows like more of a sense of peace, in a way that allows you to enjoy things more. And so as we are in this full stage of life right now, there's so many things. Like, I tripped yesterday putting the groceries away, totally twisted my ankle. It hurt real bad. I'm hobbling around, right? It is what it is, right? I can't control that. So I'm just gonna make the best of it. I'm not gonna hunker down on like, oh, what did I do wrong? Was my energy off? Oh, I'm dumb. I should have da 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 da. Like, none of that, honestly, is going to help at all. Not mentally, not physically, not emotionally, not energetically. Like, none of it is gonna help me. So I'm not even gonna entertain that. Like, I laughed at myself after I did the ouches and owls and right, like after I did all those noises to get through the pain, the initial pain. And then I just had to laugh at myself like, alrighty then. This is this is where we're at. We're gonna roll with this, right? And our sink was leaking like out of nowhere last week. We're like, what are we gonna do? Why is it leaking? I don't know. We haven't even lived in this house for a year. It's like a pretty new house. It's not an old home. Like, what's going on? So, but we worked with it, right? Or we could focus on all the things that we can't control, like, why is it leaking? We kind of gotten really frustrated about that. How could they like all of these things, right? But it doesn't help. It keeps us stuck. If we're focusing on like complaining, doesn't help. If we're focused on how things aren't the way they should be, it doesn't help. If we're focused on how it's our fault that we can't control it all, that doesn't help. If we're focused on blaming other people about how it's all their fault that they can't control it all, that doesn't help, right? Like, it just doesn't help to stay stuck in that stuff. And yet so often people live in that place. And I know, again, like, for sure I have been in that place before where I have wanted to control it all. I had I still have the sheets, the what is it? The spreadsheet that I created many, many years ago. Um, maybe 10 plus years ago or something like that at this point. It was like my 5 year, it was more than 10 years ago. It was like my 5 year goal of like every class that I would take to complete that particular degree, to complete my doctorate. It was when I was gonna have the next baby. It was, I'm trying to think of all the goals that I had on there. It was when I was gonna pay off certain things. It was like this whole 5 year goal sheet of like all these different areas of my life and all these different goals that I needed to hit. And I did hit them, right? Like, I did boom, 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 boom. I did hit them. But I will tell you that also after I had achieved all of those goals, I wasn't feeling fulfilled. And I realized that I hadn't kind of stopped to smell the roses, so to speak, as much as I really would have liked to. Now, of course, I still had things in my life that I had enjoyed, but having achieved all of those things and still not feeling fulfilled, that told me something, right? We don't gain fulfillment, we don't experience fulfillment and satisfaction in our lives by merely creating and hitting goals, by finding a way to just control it all. That's not how it works, because there's then always something more that we can't control. And so we're always striving to try to control it. And then we're always feeling more out of control. And then we're always trying to control it more and more and more. And then whatever we make that mean, like there's something wrong with me, or I'm a failure, or I just can't do enough, or there's just whatever, we all create these things. For me, it was like, I do whatever I say I'm going to do. I do whatever I say I'm going to put my mind to doing. And if someone doubts me, I will prove them wrong. Like that was a lot of my background narrative. Um, but at the end of the day, we are trying to control with a bunch of goals for what? Or we're trying to be the best of the best of the best mom, or the best of the best of the best parent, or the best of the best of the best professional or leader or business owner. And it's like, we don't need to control everything or try to be better than everyone else or try to be perfect, all of which are a means of different ways to try to control things, in order to really feel enough, in order to really feel successful in our lives, in order to really feel like deeply connected in our relationships. Like, we've got to twist it in so many ways. And these kind of whirlwind of full things that are happening in our lives these past few weeks is just another reminder, as I reflect, for me, is like, be in it because you want to be in it. Don't try to control it because you need it to be controlled or perfect or fixed or a certain way. Like, have faith, trust, be clear on what you want. If there's something happening that you don't want, do what you can. Don't focus on doing what you can't do something about, right? Like, we need that reminder sometimes. So this is actually my first live on my phone on YouTube. I guess you have to meet some kind of threshold in order to do a live on your phone for YouTube. And so several months ago when I had tried it, or last year, whenever that was, I wasn't eligible for that. And so today, I'm still out of space on my phone for videos, which is where I usually do it, and then I upload. Today, I tried again, and I'm like, oh, I must have meant whatever the thing was. And here I am, and it's so exciting because now the storage on my phone doesn't matter so much. I'm able to come on here regardless, and that's so exciting to me. So that is something that I'm celebrating and excited about, to be able to just come on here live on my phone with you all for our vlog series. Makes it a bit easier for me to hop on and talk with you, and I am excited to do that. So until next time, y'all, I hope you have an amazing day. Thanks for hanging with me on this day 27. I can't believe we're almost at day 30. We're almost at day 30 in this vlog series. I remember the first day that I started, and I had no idea where it was going to go. I just knew that it was going to be something beneficial to me and to those that tune in. And so far it has been. And I don't know how long I'll continue to do it for, but for as long as it feels good and fun and meaningful for me and for those that tune in, we're going to keep rolling with it. So I hope you have an awesome day. Till next time, y'all. Bye.